Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. I am excited today to have a guest today who is really every day in the business of as far as I understand, taking risk, flying helicopters, even saving lives. And so I'm really excited to hear about his journey here with affiliate marketing, with Legendary Marketer, with building his business online. So with that being said, let's welcome to the show another David. What's going on, my friend?
Good morning. How you doing, Dave?
Good, brother. Did I get that right? Are you an EMS helicopter pilot?
Yes, that's correct. Affirmative. That's me.
Wow, man. So you're in the business of like I said, taking risk, flying high, and saving lives, right?
Yeah. I love flying, so I do fly those helos.
Wow, man. Wow, that's really cool. So so what led you to the online world, man? I mean, how did you eventually find us as well?
So it honestly actually started during like my flight school, my flight career. So a little backstory as far as how I all started this was military. I was in the military. I got out. I went through flight school, flight training, and that was back in 2014. I went through my whole flight school. I got certified, trained, got all my degrees, and then I started, being a flight instructor, doing tours, and then came out to EMS. But during around 2016, 2017, that's when the wheels kind of started turning in my head. Like, hey, what if for whatever reason I can't fly anymore, right? What if I can't? What if I lose my medical, my physical, that I'm not able to fly? I lose an arm, whatever the case is, right? So that's kind of what started turning the wheels. Hey, I got to make like an extra income or something in case all this work that I put in for my flight school doesn't work or whatever. That's how I started going into like trying to make money online. And of course, the whole typical, going on Google, how to make money online. I've tried everything from Amazon FBA, my own drop shipping store, eBay, pretty much all that stuff. But what I tell my guys is the reason I basically failed those is because I didn't really have anybody I can actually turn to ask questions when I needed help. So when I found affiliate marketing, and believe it or not, I actually found it through TikTok. It was one of those where I was a typical where I just kind of downloaded it. I was just kind of scrolling through it, got curious. I clicked on somebody's link and I started my training. As soon as I went through the training and I saw that there was advisors, mentors, somebody real life on the other side that I can talk to and ask specific questions, that's when I pretty much just said I was all in. So that's how I kind of got led into this whole group, into this whole community, because like I can talk to real people. There's a Facebook group. I had so much support that I could answer questions when I would get stuck. Yeah. That's how I actually got into this whole thing. So
nice, man. So how has your experience here at Legendary Marketer been so far?
It's been amazing. Oh, it's definitely been amazing. Like I said, I mean, when I would get stuck, I would see other affiliates or I see other people, like, how are they having success? And I would try to copy them. It didn't work. I would ask questions. I started like having, start getting new friends from affiliates here, from other platforms. And I mean, I would just be able to reach out to people. That's basically why I pretty much stuck to it. I said I was all in, and that's why I continued on in this area.
Yeah. So you've benefited from making a lot of new connections. You've added a lot of people to your network, a lot of real people. And that, I mean, I would assume just like helicopter school or the helicopter community, if you will, knowing people, learning from people, being able to talk to people, just, it just makes such a big difference, right? And unfortunately, a lot of times in the online world, there's I don't know, it's difficult to find community and make connections that are really helpful versus just people that are just trying to tell you what you want to hear so they can sell you something. I mean, it's no secret here at Legendary that we have courses and training for sale, but I mean, we have several hundred, 300 to 500 people taking our challenge a day. And you guys who are all listening, you wouldn't believe how many people that we turn down if we feel that it's not a good fit for them, meaning that it's going to put them in some financial distress to buy one of our trainings, or if they have some sort of I don't know, some sort of an obvious thing that's going to inhibit them from being successful. I mean, we're very non-predatory. Do we challenge people? Do we push people? Do we say things that might make people uncomfortable? Absolutely. But I think it's really difficult nowadays for us to find really communities and people that really actually are going to give us what we need, and not just what we want. And so, is that something that what are the values and principles that guide you in your business? I mean, what are some of the things from a dynamic standpoint? We can talk about mechanics and how you've been marketing and stuff here for a second, in a second. But what are some of the things that are driving you and are beyond or underneath sort of the mechanical elements of your marketing? What are some of the principles and the values that are driving you in this business?
So, so first of all, like you would all say, and whatever says, like, what is your why, right? Like you have to get in this and you got to see like, what is your why? So obviously for mine was for like my family, right? If I was to lose my job, something was to happen, I couldn't fly. I have to find like another way to support the family, you know, put my kids through college, whatever the case is. But also when we get into this business, like I've noticed, like everybody else, you know, we want to make extra money for whatever reason. But when you start actually getting those emails from like those people that kind of look up to you, hey, I made my first lead, my first commission, that's like a whole nother, like a feeling, right? Like your baby's like starting to walk kind of thing, right? Like it's just one of those where like
Right.
you help them, right? Realize it. Cause I was like that too, right? Yeah, my baby, come on, baby. You know what I mean?
I know. Well, I got a 5-month-old right now, so that really triggered.
Cause you just had a newborn, right? As I understand.
A real life situation for me. Yeah, no, for real, man. Like when you have people who are like I and that's what I was getting to. I'm glad that you brought that up, and I'll let you finish your thought, but it becomes a whole bigger thing when you realize that what you're saying and what you're doing, people are actually taking it seriously, man. And they're putting their money and their time and everything on the line based on what you're saying. And to really believe in what you're saying and really believe and to really feel like my why has evolved for it not just being about me and my family, but also helping other people help their families, right? Like be there for the brand new person to get started with their dream and say yes to themselves. And I think that's kind of what you're getting to.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what it is. It's like that's kind of how it all kind of shifted as you go through the whole process and you start to learn and grow and you know, just continue on forward. So definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and that's one of the things that I tell our team all the time is that that there's a way that I think it's really powerful if you can adopt a why that's bigger than yourself. And for me, I'll tell you guys real clearly again what my why is. It's not just about me and my family. Absolutely, I want to take care of me and my family. That's something that I think is natural, right? Like I want to provide for my family. I want to make sure that they're comfortable. I want to make sure that they have what they need. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to leave generational wealth or whether me and my wife are going to spend every damn dime before we die. Yeah, I haven't decided that yet, right? Because I mean, you know, I'll figure that out later, right? But there's also another element of my why, which is being there for that brand new person. Like somebody was there for me. Somebody had to have said yes to their dreams. Somebody had to have taken a risk with their business to be there to inspire me to then say yes to my dreams. And that is to me, that's really important. And I didn't see that at first, David. I didn't see that. I didn't have that appreciation for people. Like when I was early in my career, I was pretty desperate for that sale. And I you know, like it was kind of just like a me thing. And it was just all about me. But today I really see the domino effect of people saying yes to a bigger version of their life, to the best version of themselves, to going for their dreams. Somebody had to have said yes before me to inspire me and give me permission to say yes to my dreams. And now one of the most rewarding things about my career in this industry is that I've been able to help people say yes to their dreams, man. And I think, like you're talking about, when you get those first couple of people giving you that positive feedback, it really does take your motivation and your why up a notch, doesn't it, bro? And I'd like you to just say a few more words on that, just to give some people who are new here that inspiration to stick with it until they start to make that impact on people.
That's definitely that's the actual thing, because I mean, believe it or not, like I was saying, like I failed in all these other business models. I tried Amazon, I tried drop shipping, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So when I found affiliate marketing, you know, I was kind of a little skeptical. I didn't want to fail again, right? I didn't want to try another thing and be another failure. But like I said, like when I started talking to advisors and people, right, that I had support and just help, right? Like that's what kind of can make me continue on. And that's why when I do a lot of TikTok lives now, and I tell people, it's like, hey, if you guys want, you guys have access to me. You guys can reach out, ask me questions if you don't really understand this model, so you can actually understand before you just go through, right? First, you got to educate yourself to make sure you know what you're doing, how you're doing stuff. And like, you guys have access to me, because that was one thing that really got to me when I first started my whole trying to make money online thing, because I didn't know what I was doing. And of course, I didn't really have anybody to reach to. I would, you know, turn to the obvious Google, YouTube, but it wouldn't answer a specific question. So definitely that's what actually kind of kept me going, that's to say, kind of thing.
Nice. So now you've turned around and using TikTok as sort of your primary marketing platform. What have you learned about marketing there on TikTok that might be helpful for some of our listeners here?
So yeah, definitely. I do use TikTok. My main ones are TikTok. And then I want to start growing like my YouTube channel. Then I have my Facebook group, but TikTok is my primary one. And of course, I'm sticking to that one platform so I could learn it and how it works, right? It's still a little tricky. I'm still trying to work out all the bells and whistles, but definitely it's one of those where, like, if you start learning and you start kind of like, you know, your mistakes that you make, you start learning from them, you'll start seeing results, right? You'll start seeing more views, you'll start seeing people comment, and then you can start engaging in these in stuff.
Yeah. So how are you coming up with ideas for content? Are you kind of modeling after other content that you see? Are you answering questions that you see pop up in your comment section? Like, where is your inspiration for your content coming from?
So I do actually watch other people, you know, I try to see, and I try to kind of not copy them, but kind of put in my own flavor from like the other videos. But right now I'm also doing a lot of like answering questions. A lot of people are answering the same kind of questions. So I answer questions, and then what I kind of tell my guys is, you know, I make regular TikTok videos content to put it out there. And then my TikTok lives, I like to go on there and ask questions. It's a lot more easier for me to go into detail, answer these questions. And then of course on my YouTube channel, I like to take them step by step as far as the whole process kind of thing.
So are you engaging with people in your Facebook group more one-on-one, or are you like kind of what is your calls to action that you're giving people? Are you saying, hey, go click the link in my bio and come over and join my Facebook group? Are you offering them some sort of a like, what is kind of your meta strategy for, meaning the kind of 30,000 foot perspective? How are you utilizing TikTok and Facebook and YouTube together? That's my question.
So YouTube, that's basically where I can get the eyeballs of traffic, so they can, and then that's when I direct them to my YouTube channel so they can see how you can make money, you know, different ways as far as affiliate, whatever the case is. My Facebook group, yeah, I do actually take them in, and it's more of a one-on-one. If they need a chat, FaceTime, ask questions or whatever, I can actually engage with them a lot more in my group. But that's kind of how I have it. My YouTube, I post videos that I can take you step by step. I can show you all that stuff. And then TikTok is to kind of introduce you. And then I'll bring them over to like my Facebook group and my YouTube channel.
Are you, after they get to Facebook, are you doing any one-on-one messaging with them to engage, welcome them to your group, anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I do. I actually answer or message all my guys that come in. And of course, you know, you have the questions in the beginning, what they need help on, whatever. And I kind of go off from there. Like, okay, you need help from affiliate marketing or how to make money online. Or maybe you guys are in here, you already started your journey, but you're having trouble setting up your videos, whatever the case is. But yeah, definitely I do message them when they come in.
So how did you develop, David, the confidence to be able to help somebody when you were new and you're still at the beginning of your journey? I'm asking this because so many people have a hard time with their confidence, thinking that, well, I'm not really qualified, if you will. It's kind of like a pilot. I know a lot of pilots. One of the things that you guys do at the beginning of your career is, and you just said it, and I have a friend that's a pilot, this is also how I know this, is that one of the first things he did at the beginning of his career is went into training school. So he started training other pilots, not at the end of his career, not in the middle of his career, like at right immediately at the beginning of his career, as he was trying to get a job somewhere else. That's what he was doing, was actually training other pilots, which is kind of an interesting thing. But how did you overcome the imposter syndrome, or that I'm not good enough, or I'm new, or I don't know enough, I don't have enough success, or whatever the kind of story, people are pretty prone to tell themselves, to give yourself that permission to sort of be somebody of service, be somebody who can help, be somebody who can coach?
So yeah, definitely. As far as that whole flight instructor, yeah, that's actually kind of weird how you starting to instruct people like in that school, whatever school you went to, they'll hire you there as a flight instructor and you'll start training. And believe me, I was awkward. I was, just a guy that I would just read off the PowerPoint, had no idea. By the way, I like to do a lot of stuff with my hands. My students didn't really know, because I like to teach with my hands, but I was awkward as well. And then once I got into this business model again, I felt kind of awkward. Like, I'm not a guru. I don't know the best, but the one thing that actually made me kind of come out of my shell was I read Russell Brunson's book. Like, you don't have to be an expert on that actual model. You just have to be to that next level from who you're teaching. If that makes sense. You just got to be to that next chapter. That's all you really need to do. And yeah, that as soon as I started reading that, I would get on my TikTok, and my first videos on TikTok were so awkward as well. It's like, hello, my friend. I didn't know what I was doing and stuff. Yeah. But after a while, you start building confidence. You start getting on videos. You start understanding. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I do know this. I can actually help people, like as far as I know what they're asking as far as the questions. And you basically start building that confidence. You start moving forward. And
yeah. So Megan commented that here, this training concept directly after your training should be more utilized. If you're able to reteach the concept, that means you're truly obtaining and learning the material. Then she went on to say, I make my kids do this to each other. But we do that. We that is part of our process. That is part of our system. Unfortunately, it's a challenge to get some of our students here within our platform and community to do that, because they have that sort of imposter syndrome. That's what we call it, imposter syndrome, newbie complex, which tells them, well, I don't, I need to get a little more success under my belt. So which is exactly why I asked the question. It's called learn, do, teach. And when you do what you've learned, and then you turn around and you teach what you've learned, or teach what you did, right? Mm-hmm. It solidifies that so much more into your DNA, into your subconscious. It builds and boosts your confidence. And again, it solidifies what you just learned. So I think that for those of you who are wondering what's the missing piece to me and my business and getting started and really kind of taking things to the next level, it is get into teaching. First of all, you got to do what you've learned. That's the middle piece. That's kind of the bridge that kind of allows you to connect the learning and the teaching, right? You got to do it. So if you learn it, then you do it, you build that bridge, and then you can teach it over here on this other side, teach people how to get over that bridge. right?
Yeah,
And it's
definitely.
such a powerful concept. It concretes what you've learned and what you've did. And simultaneously, it is the marketing strategy that's going to help you to be successful no matter what the niche is. It's called education-based selling. And if I can teach somebody how to, in a sense, give them results in advance, so give them some sort of a result before I ask them to spend money. So I'm going to teach you something. If you guys notice any of my marketing, I'm teaching something before I give a call to action to do anything. I mean, look at this show. I mean, every day there's not even a call to action, right? I mean, the call to action is essentially, ideally, you're already in the community and you're probably going to see something for sale at some point, but we're giving you results in advance right here, right?
Oh
So,
yeah.
so
Definitely, yeah, and that's exactly
powerful.
true because it's like I even tell my guys like, "Hey, I'm here to help you guys out. You have access to me. If there's something, I'm no guru, but there's stuff that I probably won't know. I know where to go find it. There's a
Yeah,
community out there that I can actually ask because I'm pretty sure whatever question somebody's asking me or what I haven't gone through, somebody else has. I
yeah,
could definitely ask them, but I tell them straight out, it's like, "Hey, I'm here. I could help you guys out. If I don't know the question or something, I can definitely know how to find the answer. I know who to reach out." And
yeah.
that's definitely that's amazing. That's awesome.
Well, that's such a powerful concept too, is just having confidence in your resourcefulness. It's like, and I tell people that even within our team here all the time, that don't pretend that you know everything. Don't
Mhm.
don't don't feel don't feel pressure that you also need to know everything. You don't. Know that you can be resourceful, and know also that if you tell somebody, you know what, I don't know the answer to that, but let me go check with a couple of friends or check with a couple of people that I think may have the answer. You earn so much trust. Like, you really do. You earn so much trust from people, because if you're bullshitting them, everybody has
Yeah.
a built-in BS detector. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, we all do. And so there's no need to lie. There's no need to, have puffery and kind of try to make yourself seem as if you know more than you do. Just be real and offer what you can. And again, the majority of people just need to are at the beginning, so they just need to know those initial steps. How do I get started? How do I get my first
That's
lead? How
exactly,
do I
yep.
get right? So you don't need to know advanced concepts. Just the fact, as you said, if you're one step ahead of somebody. I remember when I started to market back 2009, 2010, I was I was generating a lead or two a day, and that's kind of the result that I would market. I would be like, "Hey, let me teach you guys how I've generated 2 leads a day over the past week." Right? And to somebody who's generating 0 leads a day, that was interesting. It was also believable, which is one of the reasons why marketing and teaching like believable things is so powerful. Because if I was like, let me show you how to generate 10,000 leads per day, like, that's just overwhelming. Let me show you how to make 10,000 a month. Like, to some people, that's unbelievable.
And that's
Show you
that's
how to
that's
let me show you how to make an extra 2,000 a month. Let me show you how to make an extra $100 a day. Now, that's going to be the first step that somebody's going to take anyways, and it's more believable.
And that's exactly, yeah, that's exactly how I kind of think of myself when I start doing stuff like, okay, what would I do? Or I was in my shoes like 6 months ago. Back 6 months ago, all I wanted was to make a commission. I didn't even care if it was 19 cents. I didn't care if it was $5. I just wanted to make a commission. So, you know what I mean? Or I just
Yeah.
wanted to hit my first 100. I wanted to hit my first 1,000. I just wanted something, right?
Yeah.
And that's basically, it's like, yeah, and then you just work up the baby steps
Yeah.
until, like you said, until you could get to those 10,000 leads or whatever the case is. So,
Yeah,
but
and honestly, I mean, once you start getting crazy big results, like, it's I see all these people out here that are like, I'm a millionaire now, and it's like, who gives a shit? Like, but that's so unbelievable to most people. You know what I mean?
and a
Like
lot of people are not gonna really like believe it. Like they don't, you know what I mean? It's just one of those, like, you're right. It's like I don't really care about you. I care about me. How are you gonna help
totally,
me? Kind of thing.
totally, man. And I mean, I think that that's what I've learned in sort of the evolution that I've taken, because I mean, I made my first million, man, back in 2011 or 12, man. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't have to say that on every video. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Yep.
it's like I've learned to be more interested in what people want and more interested in where they're at than try to worry about being interesting all the time. And I do see a lot of people who really struggle with, I believe it's like, it's an insecurity. Even as they begin to get results, they think that they need to push and put those results in people's faces all the time. And while that might be attractive or inspirational to some people, to others, it's a real turnoff. And and especially in this day and age, like being able to read the room, like for example, in 2020, man, I mean, we had a great year in 2020, but I didn't throw that in people's face every single video because I'm reading the room. I'm trying to be sensitive to what other people are going through. Honestly, I don't live a normal life anymore. I mean, I don't know what it's like to be a 9-to-5 worker who goes into a job, a Wawa or a Starbucks or a retail store or something like that, right? So I do have to try and think about what is it like, man, for a person, and try to speak in that language, right? So they can understand what the hell I'm talking about. We were doing an interview with a guy a couple of weeks ago who said, you know, he would come across the videos that were like $100 a day. And he was like, man, I want to find the video that's like, show me how to make $5 a day.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, because
Right.
nowadays,
Like,
I mean,
just show me that it's real, man. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's exactly, and like you connect a lot more. And I've noticed that as far as my journey, right? Like you connect a lot more if you tell your story, because there's going to be people in that same boat that you're telling. They don't want to see the Lambos and the trips or whatever. Like they want to see like real life. You know, it's like, hey, I just made $5. We can turn that 5 into 10, 10, 20, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And you actually started connecting a lot more with those people, right? Because it was actually we were close, right? We were actually kind of like in the same boat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really powerful and that's one of the things that I wish more of you, all of you guys listening, would embrace, is the fact that where you're at in your journey right now is actually really a pretty powerful place. It's a powerful time. You know, I mean, it's like the most, hold on, let me pull up something. It's like the most you know, it's the most important time in your business. And also it's also the time in which you can actually connect to people the most, you know, is because you know what it's like to kind of really struggle through some stuff. You know what I mean? It's fresh, right? Like one of the things, and take lots of pictures of your journey, right? Like take pictures. If you have a 9-to-5 job, take pictures of it. Like this picture to me is priceless. It's one of the only pictures that I have of me working construction. This picture right here is priceless. Like to me, this was at the very beginning of my journey. I've got the nicotine patch on there. You can see I just stopped smoking cigarettes. I've got the laptop that my wife, who was then my girlfriend, let me put on her credit card and pay it back like $50 a month, you know, until I had it paid off. You know, my desk, as you can see, the couch is right there. My desk setup was literally right in the middle of the living room. You know what I mean?
And people actually kind of connect to that because that's the same story. That's the same boat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, if he's there in construction and he's starting his online business, now he's here, like, that's probably me as well, right? Like, and that's kind of how I kind of see it as well. Like I tell my story, and like they always say, like story sells, right? Like you tell your story and people are going to be like, hey, I'm in that same boat. I want to make $5. Hey, I want to make 10, 100, whatever the case is. And you start connecting a lot more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely, yep.
This is the other angle. There's the dinner table on the other side of the desk, right? And this is me probably one day doing a webinar where nobody showed up, but I delivered it anyways because I was too prideful to tell my wife that nobody actually showed up to the webinar.
I remember you said that one time on your Legendary. I remember that. You just went on. The show must go on.
Yeah, no, I would like do these live, you know, back again, it was webinars like on GoToWebinar, Zoom, I don't remember if Zoom I didn't use Zoom. I used GoToWebinar, but like, you know, TikTok, Instagram, live on Facebook wasn't a thing. If to go live, you had to do a legit webinar. And so I would do a webinar. I would at least promote a webinar, and then like, you know, 8:05, you know, 8:01, 8:02, 8:05, 8:10, you know, nobody's there yet. And I'm kind of like, shit, you know, and my wife, you know, is skeptical at the beginning, right? And just and I'm like, yeah, I got to deliver this thing. So I'm like, welcome to the webinar. We got a packed house here. I'm like trying to be extra loud so my wife hears it, right? I deliver the whole thing, you know, and
your wife is in the backyard. That's my baby. She's in the back.
Nobody shows up, but you know, I got good presentation practice. You know what I mean? Like it was. Yeah, and you know, you know, that's the beginning of the journey. It's like get lots of pictures, you know what I mean? Like tell that story like for months and years into the future, just like I'm doing right now, because you know, it connects with people because that's where they're at. You know, as you guys become more successful, you gals become more successful, and you do pay off, you know, all your credit cards or pay off your mortgage, or you buy your dream house, or you buy your dream car, you go on your dream vacation. Like, I mean, those are things that not everybody's going to be able to relate to. And some people may be inspired by it. What everybody can relate to is those early days of starting your business. That's what everybody can relate to. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So telling those stories and really keeping your mind on that and keeping your heart on that brand new person, being there for them, telling their story through your story. And it's just such a powerful concept. I'm glad you brought it up today, David. And, you know, I'm just I'm thrilled for your success, and I'm thrilled to have you as a part of our community. What would you say to somebody who might be sitting on the fence right now, maybe on a checkout page or something, getting ready to potentially take our challenge or whatever, and is wondering, is this the right thing? And is Legendary actually have the potential to make an impact on my life?
So what I tell, you know, my guys on my lives or whatever the case, when they ask me, the hardest part in all of this is to start and to stay consistent. That is the hardest thing. Other than that, it's actually really easy. But as long as you're actually able to wake up, put about an hour or two a day in creating content, emails, whatever the case is, and actually starting. I always tell them about that Matrix movies. Like, I could open the door, but you physically have to walk through there. It is going to be your business. This is going to be yours. You do have to put the work and the effort. But if you guys are, I am willing to help you guys out. I'll be here along to ask me questions, whatever the case is. But that's actually the hardest part, to start and to just stay consistent. Other than that, it's not really that difficult. It's just, you know, those are what I truly do believe and what I've seen. Because there are some times that I don't want to get up and I don't want to create a video or whatever the case is, right? I worked late, I got off, whatever the case is, but those are what I truly believe are the most difficult ones. So,
yeah. And where do you see your future here? Where do you see kind of the next year or two? I mean, what are some of your goals, and what have you already accomplished that's exciting, that is sort of maybe even beyond your expectations? And what else? What are your sights set on over the next 12 months or so?
So I started this for, you know, for a backup, whatever, multiple streams. But honestly, I mean, I could actually see myself, because I do travel with this EMS job. You know, they send me to little small towns, and I do travel a lot here and there. And of course, my kids are getting bigger. I do have a 5-year-old and a 16-year-old right now. So, maybe making this into a full-time thing later on in the future. We'll see how it is. I love flying, but if I can make it into a full-time thing, like, I'll be here talking on my TikTok lives or making content. My little one, we're here in the office, she has a little table on the side with her cartoons, and she's on her iPad too, you know, just she sees that dad gets on video, he's not shy or whatever, and she's also doing it too. So I'm actually kind of impacting her too. Who knows what she might, you know what I mean? She might be on it too, but it's like, it's just one of those things that, like, she sees me go on, and she's also trying to do stuff on her iPad as well. But I mean, honestly, right now, I love flying. I'm in a very, I like where my journey's going, but in the future, I might go, you know, make this as far as my full-time job, so I could stay home with the kids, you know, go to those soccer practices, you know, graduations, anniversaries, parties, stay here at the house kind of thing.
Yeah, it's nice to have choices, man. It's nice to have choices. I mean, flying is not an unfun thing. I mean, I have some pilot friends. They really love it. That's kind of one of those jobs that it's kind of hard not to love, especially if you like being up, in the sky. And
I like the way my office looks, my office view looks.
yeah. I can understand that. Well, hey, brother, thank you for your service in that particular area of business, and thanks for being a great example for those of us in this community.
I appreciate it. Thank
To,
you.
get in there, get rocking, learn, do, teach. You brought up some really powerful principles today, and made it really valuable for people who are listening. I hope you'll come back and keep us posted here in a few months.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, Dave. I appreciate it.
All right, David. See you, my brother. Take care, my man.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. See ya. All right, my friends. Have a fantastic Friday and a great weekend. Do something today to finish your week strong. Take a risk. Do something that makes you uncomfortable. Finish strong, and then utilize some of your time this weekend, even if it's just during some of your relaxation, to maybe catch up on some of these episodes, go through some of the training that you have here at Legendary. If you're a Blueprints client, go through some of that training, maybe rewatch some sections if you need to brush up or get clarity. And most of all, take what you've learned, do it, and then teach it to somebody else. All right? Be legendary. We'll see you back here on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern time for another episode. Peace.